Convergent Nation, how is everyone? Hopefully you've all had a great week. It's been an interesting week in our country, again, in the United States here, obviously. And I wanted to, as I said in the email that opens this, I was looking for the right words to address it, and I was honestly struggling. And I came across, as a Patriots fan, I came across an interview that was being done with Cam Newton. I actually find him incredibly interesting to talk to, or not talk to, but to listen to when they ask him questions. He's very thoughtful, very open, and his answers relative to football are terrific. But someone asked him this week around Breonna Taylor and what was going on, and I found his answer to be so in line with what we are at Convergint, about making a daily difference, about doing the right thing. I felt compelled to share them with you, and hopefully the words came across and were impactful and thoughtful. I found them to be, and help us think our way through this, because it is a very difficult time for our country, for our world, as we navigate these difficult times, right? And I thought what came across is the humility that he had, right? This is a man that has reached some of the highest heights in our country of, professional sports player, champion, paid incredible sums of money. But at the end of the day, he kept coming back to his family and his father, and I thought that was it was impactful. So hopefully you enjoyed and took something away from what he had to say around what was an incredibly difficult situation, and something that is politicized and battered back and forth. And at the end of the day, if we all just do the right thing, how we can move forward as a country and as a world in a better way. So again, take time to read those, read his words. It doesn't take long, and I found them to be helpful. The other thing this week I wanted to hit on is a high and a low, right? And one of the highs is relative to Mike Brand. He leads our team in the Texas area as our regional VP, and I'm not sure that most people don't know, but through the coronavirus, Mike has actually been battling cancer. And he found out about it just about the beginning of COVID, and you can imagine the horror of COVID and all that going on, and being told you have cancer, having to have surgery, having to have chemotherapy. And just last week, Mike had his final treatment of chemo, and the doctor has given him a big thumbs up. And the way that Mike has stayed focused, battled through this, the way his team, the team around him have supported this, has just been so inspirational. And I don't want to give everyone his cell phone number so you can text him, because his phone would probably melt. But I'm sure a note of appreciation and thanks, and just knowing that we're thinking about him and continue to think and root and pray for him is, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. At the other end of the extreme, we have Jim Mayman. And Jim has had an epically challenging summer with his eye. He's had some problems with his eye. Next week, he's going to go in for his third surgery to try and fix what's the problem is with his eye. The first surgery was something out of a horror movie. He actually woke up in the surgery. They didn't give him enough anesthesia. And I know what I would have done, but he was able to stay calm through it. And, the actions they took, they put you on end to get him back under and to make sure he didn't lose the eyesight wasn't a good situation. But let's all wish Jim the very best on this third and hopefully final surgery, and he gets through that as quickly as he can. And thumbs up on that. And so great news for Mike. Hopefully good outcome for Jim. We're counting on that, but I wanted everyone to be aware and as we work and fight through this. And you imagine fighting both of these as we're trying to lead, both trying to lead their regions through a very difficult time, and appreciate their leadership, and again, all the teams around them. Speaking of leadership, this week here, after a week and a half, about 60 of our colleagues up in Minneapolis at SPC, that's the banking part of our business there we acquired a couple of years ago, have been going through Dynamics 365 user acceptance test this week. And the team there has worked countless hours, long days, testing the system and still doing their day job. We had about, like I said, 60 people involved from the CTC there, as well as others that are involved supporting this. And I would say overwhelming, good news coming out of it. Wasn't perfect. We didn't expect it to be perfect. That's why we do these user acceptance tests. But had over a had over a 90% pass rate on the 400 or so test scripts, which is testing all the different processes, and big thumbs up on that. There's some things we got to fix now, and what the next step is on November 1, we will move SPC onto full-time using the Dynamics 365 system, and really having them day in, day out using it and getting their feedback. Then beginning in January, the Great Northern Frontier, our Upper Midwest region, will expand that into the Minneapolis and probably a couple other CTCs, have them continue to test and roll this out. And then we'll, looking to beginning of March to roll this out in waves across the US and then into Canada and Europe. So huge amount of work to get us to this point. But, as Churchill said in World War II, it's just the end of the beginning. And we still got a lot of work to work through and to carry through. But to the team that's worked on it to get to this point, huge thanks. You guys have done a magnificent job, and we all appreciate the effort of getting us here. And certainly, thank you in advance for all the effort that's going to have to take us to get this to the pilot, and then the kickoff in January, and then to all of the colleagues that are going to have to work and find new ways to do their jobs and use the system that ultimately I think will really enable us to do lots of great things as we go forward. Last evening, we have a monthly review with the team in ICD, and had a great discussion with them. It is just incredible to see what the team is doing there. This is a business that in November 2013, we bought them, ICD, that were principally 90% of their business came out of China. They're about a $25 million business. Fast forward now, coming up on 7 years this November, they'll achieve $100 million in bookings this year. And think about that for a second. $100 million, which is, in fourfold what they were. And they're doing it through this whole, at this year, they're doing it through, the pandemic, obviously the challenges in China, India now, Australia shut down, Japan has been up and down, just as the rest of the world. And they're finding a way to work through this thing, and they're doing it locally. But also, one of the great things that are happening is we're really seeing the power of our global platform. I mentioned the Great Northern Frontier. They've secured a great new customer in Seagate this year. A significant amount of work has come to Asia that needed to be supported, and the team in ICD has knocked it out of the park there, which is terrific. We continue to see opportunities to support many other customers, and we're doing this on a global basis. And last, couple of weeks ago, we mentioned Seattle in South America. Our ability now to go to any global customer and be able to share the story about how aligned we are and how we're able to deliver them a seamless experience in these difficult times is allowing us to open the gap between us and our competitors even that much more significantly than it was before. And when you come through and you execute like we do consistently around the world, it's just an awesome position to be in, and one that we all need to stay focused on and keep delivering on, because it matters. And so the takeaway is, we have to continue to grow as an organization. And as we, and the opportunities are there because we're investing to find them. We're continuing to recruit great people in the, during this COVID period. But let's keep focused on that and keep overcoming the hurdles. Let's use that word, the transition. There are going to be hurdles out there. Recently, we've had a data center project that didn't go well. And I tell customers when I meet with them that, we're a group of 5,000, I believe the 5,000 of the best people in our industry. And because we're people, we're going to screw things up from time to time. But what I love about Convergint is that, we don't put our head in the sand and hope the problem goes away. We address it front on. And recently, it was pretty bad execution. We had a lot of challenges. The team rallied to meet the customer's expectation, lower though it may have been. But importantly, they went back after the fact and they explained, here's what we screwed up, here's what happened, and most importantly, here's what we're going to do going forward. And, we were all very pleasantly surprised this week. There was a follow-on project that none of us expected to win, and it's not insignificant. It's a very significant project, in fact. None of us expected it to win, but because of the way the team first rallied to deliver, as challenged as it was, and then took accountability, took responsibility for the problem and addressed it, the customers come back and rewarded us the next phase. Now, we've got to execute this time, and we've got to deliver and set the bar where we all know it should be and will be. And I'm very confident the team will do that now. But it just shows you that, customers will be patient with us as long as we continue to take accountability, right? And take ownership and do the right thing. And isn't it interesting how it ties back to what even Newton was saying? When you do the right thing, you take ownership, and you have empathy for situations, people will work through those with you. Let me stop there. I don't want to go on too much more today, but we have a lot of incredible things going on as our organization. It is you, our colleagues, being on the front lines and working with our customers and working through all the challenges that we faced, and we've shared some of the stories with you this year, that is allowing us as an organization to navigate a very difficult time. 2020 won't be a year that we'll look at and say that was perhaps the biggest growth year. I think we'll look back at 2020 and say, look at what our company has achieved through very difficult times, to be able to continue to move forward, to continue to become stronger during this year, and position ourselves for 2021 and beyond to drive the opportunities that allow us to grow, to allow us to reinvest back in the organization, to give you opportunities to grow in your careers and take care of your families. This is what it's all about, right? It's all about doing the right thing for you, our colleagues, to empower you. And I think that's the message that, hopefully comes through today. And, as always, thank you for everything you do for our customers, everything you do for the colleagues around you and the communities we live in. It does matter, and it is appreciated. And, let me say thank you and end on that. So everyone, stay safe, stay well, have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to an update next week. Bye now.